Well, there's been a good development at the federal level. Here's a clip that went viral today.
Why do you think those kind of peak bodies are rejecting those calls by you? And what evidence do you have that there is this so-called rampant child sexual abuse occurring in remote central Australia?
Well, with respect, that's such an ABC question. Do you live locally? Do you speak to people on the streets? Do you hear what it is they're saying to you? Do you believe... You live locally, you don't believe there's any problem here?
No, I'm asking you, what evidence do you have that there
Well,
is...
I've spoken to the police and the social workers, some of whom are out on stress leave at the moment because of the scenes that they've endured.
Finally, Dan, opposition leader Peter Dutton is getting feisty over a topic that calls for a very robust approach. Now, the fact that the leftists like the ABC treat this as a political issue rather than an urgent humanitarian one says a lot about them. What did you make of Dutton's performance in Alice Springs today?
Well, bravo to Peter Dutton. This is great leadership. Coming out against The Voice was critical, and I've been watching the press coverage and the interviews they've been giving. Both Jacinta Price and Peter Dutton have been in the Alice yesterday and today, and well, these have been formidable performances. It's been outstanding. They've been very clear communicators. Peter Dutton has been very clear in what his beliefs are, what his views are, what the shortcomings of the Albanese government are. So I very much see this as the beginning of the fight back if they're able to keep this up. Clearly, they're generating pressure. Albanese is going to have to respond at some point because it looks like Dutton and Jacinta are just going to keep going. In the Alice, beyond the politics of this, it's a tragedy what's happening here in the Alice Springs and other remote parts of Australia. The idea that a Canberra-based Voice to Parliament is going to fix these problems is just so far removed from reality. And it goes, everything that you've been talking about, Fred, and we've been talking about. We don't need another Canberra-based bureaucracy. They might be well-meaning people, but they're not going to fix the problems. We need more cops on the beat. The number one priority of government is to keep people safe. And they're not doing that. It's a pretty straightforward policy thing. It's the right thing to do. And that Albanese would spend more time talking about The Voice than actually trying to fix the problems says everything you need to know about his government.
Well, it all makes sense. Everything you say makes sense, that, the real problem is getting these kids off the street, getting them into school and into safe homes. All that seems very obvious. Do you think this is the start of the momentum for the No campaign? Because at the moment, there's not a lot of momentum in it.
I think there is momentum, and I think it's building. I think the polling is not good for the yes case. They want to be at about 70% by now. They're at about 55. Queensland's already going to vote no, according to the polling. Western Australia is not far off. So I think there's a lot to look forward to on the no side of the campaign. And I think that Peter Dutton's contribution to the debate has been critical because it means that there will be a debate now. I would have liked to have seen Peter Dutton and the Liberals come out earlier against The Voice, and I would have liked to have seen them just say, this is going to divide us by race. But I understand the politics of it, and I'm glad that we now have a debate, because if you had both sides backing in The Voice, the problem would be that Australians wouldn't get to have a proper debate about this. I'm relieved, and I think millions of Australians are relieved that at least now we're going to have a proper debate. We've got Peter Dutton and Jacinta Price that are pretty effective. They're getting out there. So I agree with you that there is now a bit of momentum getting generated, and I think that this is positive for our country.